Let's take a look at a day in the life of using Creo Parametric for some CAD modeling and Windchill for CAD data management. Here I am in Creo Parametric. I am connected to Windchill. I'm looking at my home page inside of the embedded browser, and I see that I have a task. I like to use action items in ProjectLink in order to manage my work. Here I see that I have a task I've been given to modify an assembly and create a drawing. Let's go about doing that. Alright, so I have a new task. I should create a new workspace. That is a very good rule of thumb when you are inside of Windchill. So I will go to the server management. By the way, I have server management added to my quick access toolbar because I access it so often. I just find it a lot easier to get to it from there rather than going to file and manage session and server management. Hey, since I am in there so often, add it to your quick access toolbar. Alright, so I go in here, I'm going to create a new workspace. I'll choose workspace new, and I like to name my workspace with today's date and some information about what I'm doing. Normally I use a better description than action item, but my mind is not working so well today. So let's go back and choose, let's see, what is this going to be associated with? This is going to be with some stuff from the power transmission product that I belong to. All right, let's click the OK button. Now it is creating my new workspace, and it is automatically active. Let me close out of here and then click on the workspace button. And here's my workspace. You can see it is empty because I literally created it seconds ago. Let's get some stuff to go inside of this workspace. I'm going to use some search functionality, and I know part of the number so I can enter it. I know it starts with 05090. Hopefully that is enough. I will use the asterisk wildcard. Here we have it set to all types. If I want to narrow down the list, I know that I'm looking for CAD documents, so I can filter that and then hit the little magnifying glass. It is performing the search. Came up with 21 results. Let's find the one that I want. Oh, looks like it's the first item in the list is actually what I want to use. This is the assembly for the connecting rod that I need to update. So I can right click on it and then choose add to workspace. And here I get the advanced form where it is now listing all the dependents that are required in order to access this. It is set to download these different objects into the workspace. And so we can click the OK button. It's processing. And let me collapse the navigator. And I can see here we have it in here. If I want to open it up in Creo Parametric, I can use the open button over here. Now I have the connecting rod open. All right, let's see some of the work that I need to do. I need to add in a couple of components. Let's go about doing that. Okay, when I go to click on the assemble button, it warns me that, hey, the object is read-only as it is not checked out. From the conflicts dialog box, I can check it out on the fly. So I will click the OK button. And so now in terms of what I want to add in here, I'm going to grab some stuff from the library, and I can navigate directly to it using the Windchill Common Space Common Folder. Then I can go to Libraries. It's in this library. I need to add in a bushing in here. And let's see, I think it's this one that I want. And so here it is in here. I have a config.pro option that has it attached to the end of my mouse when I go to assemble it. All right, let's do our different constraints in here. I'll pick that surface there and that surface there. That is pretty good. Let me see. Oh yeah, I moved my in-graphics toolbar down to the bottom of my screen for some other work that I was doing. Let's see, let's use the layers, and I am going to make the planes, let's see, datums. All right, so I can tell that I want to use for my second constraint, let's use, close out there, and let's just pick it right out of here. Still hidden. And let's see, from the connecting rod, There we go. Right now we're getting a distance constraint. Let's change that to coincident. And right now, let's see, we need to add in another constraint. Looks like I want this surface here and this surface over here. That is good. So I've got that component in here. That's the first thing I need to do for that. Let me now assemble in another component that I need in here. Once again, I will use the Windchill common space to navigate to one of my libraries for a component that I need to assemble in here. It is going to be a fastener. Let's see, it's going to be a nut. I'm going to grab this one over here. And for this one, let's select this cylindrical surface and this surface over here. Let me use the 3D dragger to make it easier to pick the constraints for the references for the next constraint. I can double click on the note inside of the graphics area to change that to coincident. And if I go to the placement tab, I can verify that allow assumptions is turned on. That's good. Let's now select the component. I need to put it in one more place. Let's use the repeat command. And let's see, for this one, I just want to change this one here. So we'll choose the add button, pick that over there. That's good. Click the OK button. So just a little shortcut to getting that component in there. So that is good. Those are the assembly modifications that I needed to do. Let's do a save right now. Let's create a drawing next for this. So to create a new drawing, I'll hit the new button. Let's change the type radio button to drawing. Right now, the file name is automatically generated. I don't want that. I want this to be named with the name of the assembly. And I'll give it a unique number. I'm not going to use the default template. Let's see, I'm going to do this empty with format. I'm actually going to grab a format. Here we go, that looks good. And click the OK button. And it asks me what representation I want to use from the assembly. The master rep is good over here. For the sheet of the format, I want to use sheet 1. And for the drawn by parameter, put in my name over here. And that way we have the drawing start off. I'm just going to create one view in here. I can right click and choose general view, no combined state, located about over here. Let's see the front view. Yep, front view looks good. Let's go to the visible area. That looks good. Scale. I was using a scale of 1. 1's good. Let's click the OK button. And so there we have the view started. Let me go to my layers for the drawing. You just want to hide all the layers so none of your non-solid geometry is being displayed. And let's create one more view. I can select the view and then from the mini toolbar create a projection view over here. So let's say that that is the drawing and I detailed it and created everything I need in here. Let's now do a save. So now I'm done my CAD work. And so I have saved everything. We can close what's open in Creo Parametric and then go back to the workspace over here. We can see the different objects that we have in here. Oh yeah, I grabbed a format locally that is not currently inside of Creo Parametric. Let me check that in on its own to begin with. And rather than checking it into a product, I am going to change the location to put it into one of my libraries. Inside of here, I've got a folder for model templates and drawing templates. Let's select that and click the Finish button. Great, now I have my format inside of Creo Parametric. I have a couple of objects, one that is checked out and one that is modified. And so when I check in this stuff, everything should be good. If you want to, you can change the preferences for your workspace or for individual objects. So for example, right now, any new stuff would be going to the power transmission folder. Maybe I want to make sure that it is going to the correct folder inside of here I can change for Windchill parts or any new CAD documents where they should go in here. That's good. Let's click the OK button. And that way, just for anything new that's created, it'll automatically know where that stuff needs to go. For checking in these different objects, if I go to check in the drawing, it'll automatically go to check in the assembly as well because it is a dependent object. And so here you can see both of them in here. At this point, I do have the opportunity, even though I changed my workspace preferences, to put the drawing into a different folder, but this is good. Let me click the next button. And again, I'm a big advocate of new task, new workspace. When you are done, remove the objects from the workspace and delete the workspace. Everything else in here looks good. I always like to turn on auto resolve incomplete objects in case there are some missing external references. But again, everything looks good. Let's click the finish button. And since I said that I wanted to erase them, it wants to erase them from my Creo Parametric session. That is fine. I removed the objects from the workspace. I'm done with my work. I no longer need the workspace. Let me go to my workspace, my server management dialog box. I'll activate a different workspace. Then I can right click on the workspace I create for this task and delete it. Am I sure? Yes, I am. And so the workspace is now deleted. I'm going to go to my embedded browser. Let's click on the home icon. And here I have the task that I was assigned inside of here. Let's go to the actions button and then edit. And the important thing in here, let's change the amount of work to 100%. I can change the status to green as well and click the OK button. And so now let's go back to the home task over here. Since I changed the percent complete to 100%, that task is no longer in here. It is closed in its loop. So there you have an example of maybe that's something that would be your typical workflow inside of Creo Parametric with Windchill. You get a new task, create a new workspace, do the engineering CAD work, check your work in, and then delete the workspace. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more information, please visit www.creowindchill.com. If you learned something from this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this video, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be informed when new videos are uploaded. Thank you very much.